All right, we are carrying on with part 2 of the series, and where we left off with Bat-Mite and Batman of planet Zur-En-Arrh. So now we're on to Beast Boy and Black Adam, and Beast Boy right here is a pretty cool character. Not a character I have ever really been that interested in personally, but I know it is a huge fan favorite and one that a lot of you guys watching have been really excited for. And I'm not going to lie, he's actually one of the coolest characters in the game. And the reason behind that is some of the things that he does. So, number one, he transforms into a gorilla, which is fairly easy considering he's basically just Gorilla Grodd. But then, jump him into the water. Oops. He turns into a shark. And apparently he doesn't move. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so put him in the water and he turns into a shark, which is really cool. And then, you get him into the air and he turns into a bird seamlessly. So, that's really, really awesome. I really think that's just a nice feature. Having a character who, if we go right into the water, go right in under the water. And I don't know if he actually can do anything down here, but he is a shark. So, yeah, it's just really a cool feature. He just seamlessly jumps out of the water and becomes a bird. And if we could find anything where he could shrink, I believe he turns into like a field mouse. I wish I could just hold down B and make that happen, but it doesn't look like I can. So yeah, man, Beast Boy is really cool. I mean, he's got a little bit of everything. He can be a big fig, he can go underwater, he can fly, he can do all sorts of stuff. It's very unique. I wish I could, so he jumps out of the water. I wish that I could, make him swan dive in. Oh, yeah, there we go. And he just turns right into a shark. So I don't know what's up with this water, why it's not cooperating. But I just love it that he just so seamlessly transforms across the board. So, definitely a very, very interesting character. And I think if you were excited for this character in the game, I think TT Games did very well by you, and you're really going to appreciate the way that he is. Now, the sky that you kind of see in the background is one of the reasons why I kind of appreciate the whole kind of hub world thing, because it gives you different atmospheres every time you go to a different planet. But yeah, anyway, Black Adam. This guy's been a good guy, he's been a bad guy, he's been a really bad guy, and he is going to be the Rock very soon. Really, really interested to see what the Rock does as Black Adam. Definitely glad he's not going to be Shazam, that's for sure. So Black Adam does the electricity thing. Him and Shazam are essentially the same character, except he does not transform, and Shazam does. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You'll want to use Black Adam or Shazam quite often in situations where you need electricity, simply because they don't have to go to any kind of a terminal to get it. So if you're like me, when you're free roaming, you just want everything to be as quick and efficient as possible. You'll start looking for characters like Black Adam that are able to do stuff like that. Black Adam and Shazam. If you're a character that flies, I generally am going to use you quite a bit, simply because flying is just the easiest way to get where you need to go. If you're wondering why I'm just bouncing on stuff at random right now, you get an achievement for bouncing 50 times off of something. So I just figure if I bounce off of them every once in a while, every time I go buy something, I have to be pretty close to getting that achievement. So who knows, maybe I'll get it in this video. But alas, let us move on to our next character. Not a gorilla, but Black Canary. And how many of you watch Arrow? If you're like me and you watch Arrow, you're probably fairly excited right now, because Kate Cassidy, they just released some pictures this week of her dressed as Black Canary. So her sister, Sarah, had been the Canary up until this point. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'll just leave it at that. But, you know, if you're not following along with Season 3 quite yet. So, needless to say, definitely looking forward to that. So, you know, Black Canary, you know, she's got her sonic scream, and yeah, that's pretty much all you need from her. She can shatter glass. Definitely a really good look. I kind of would have liked it if her jacket was black, but I understand, you know, that they kind of were trying to give her some color here. All black, maybe not the best of looks, but alas, she's a useful character. Honestly, I generally go to her when I need the sonic scream, or when I need to shatter some glass, just because I remember to go to her. That's really it. So that is the Black Canary. You know, decent, solid character. Makes sense to have her here. Black Hand, William Hand. So he is. This is kind of like his regular Black Hand costume. I know. Maybe it didn't have as much black as I thought. Maybe it was more blue like this. You know, he was always, you know, a character, but he was always a bit of a like kind of 2-bit character. Not really anything. You know, he was kind of an afterthought, and then he died, and Necron kind of took over him, took over his kind of body, and he became, you know, I wouldn't say the leader of the Black Lanterns, but he definitely was their figurehead, maybe a little bit more than Necron. So yeah, he was always an enemy of Green Lantern, so I guess it kind of makes sense that he would end up going with the Black Lanterns. So yeah, there you go. It's kind of funny how his, like, I think his dad was like a mortician, and his power was like he can steal the life force from people. So, you know, it's kind of weird how. I mean, obviously it's a comic book. It was designed that way, but I have a Black Hand figure. Oh, there we go. There's the achievement. So I mean, like I said a lot of times, you know, I really love Blackest Night, Brightest Day, those whole storylines. So, you know, seeing Black Hand in the game was definitely really cool. So I don't really use him that much. Even he does the same thing all the other Lanterns do. And to be honest with you, I mostly use Atrocitus when I'm going to use a lantern. But alas, I digress. Next up we have Black Manta, traditionally the arch nemesis of Aquaman. So clearly he is a water character. There's not a whole lot of water here. There actually isn't much water in this game. There is a level where you fight. Well, not a level, but there is a section where you fight Black Manta in the Batcave. So, you know, I think Black Manta was like, wasn't he like DLC in Lego Batman 2? So like not everybody had him. So there we go. Sweet, I just unlocked Red Robin, or Robin's Redbird Cycle. So I think this is what was missing a little bit in this game, was the underwater play. you know, you've got a couple underwater characters, and I don't feel like they fully utilize them. Like, even right now, I don't know why I can't, like, draw the camera under the water. It would have made it so much more interesting, you know? But, Black Manta's not really a character I use much at all, which is unfortunate, because he's kind of a cool character. You know, does all your basic things, though, that a lot of other characters do. So, even in passing, I didn't really find a need to kind of use him that much, but... still a cool character, still a really cool character design. He looks really cool, which is all that matters. In the grand scheme of things, I mean, you know, as long as he kind of looks cool, it doesn't matter that there's other characters that can do the same thing. I love the aesthetics of these games. The graphics are always really good, so I appreciate that they did a good job with his design. Bleeze. So Bleeze, obviously, I've already established I'm a huge Red Lantern fan, and Bleeze is like the Starscream of the Red Lanterns. She is secretly plotting to take over constantly, whether it's from Guy Gardner or whether it's from Atrocitus. She was like a princess on her home planet, and I think she was... I hesitate because there's kids, so we'll say taken advantage of, and had her wings ripped off, and just the rage that built up within her called out to a Red Lantern ring, and that's how she became what she is here. She does all the things that the Lanterns do. I will use her from time to time just because, you know, I like to use different characters. I like to switch it up, you know, here and there, just so I can just, I don't know, not use the same character over and over again. So I definitely use Bleeze here and there, because, you know, you do have a lot of use for the Lanterns that are in the game. Pretty much all of them fly, so it's just so much easier to get from here to there when your character can fly. So... another aesthetically pleasing character. Really did a good job with her look. So we'll go ahead and move on. Black Hand, you've been here enough. So now we have the Blue Beetle. And I'm going to get another achievement in just a moment. Because you get an achievement for having Blue Beetle and Booster Gold on the screen. You know, my old roommate Dave was a huge Blue Beetle fan, and I never understood it. You know, I didn't have anything against Blue Beetle, but just wasn't really a character that was on my radar screen that much. Then he died, and I still didn't care. Then he was back, and I still didn't care. But as far as the way he looks in this game, he looks awesome. I mean, he shoots out of these like little cannons from his hand. I don't know if that's just like a symbolism of what some bugs have, but he flies, which is very useful. He shoots like the energy kind of laser that the Lanterns shoot. So definitely a very efficient and effective character. Very, very aesthetically pleasing. So I think a lot of people are going to enjoy using Blue Beetle. Definitely made me pay attention a little bit more. So, you know, definitely one of the really cool figures in the game. So I definitely think they did a good job with him. So I kind of brought up all the, you know, never really cared about him just to kind of emphasize that, you know, hey, I was really impressed. It's definitely a character that, you know, made me turn my head. Next up, we have Booster Gold, and like I said, having these two on the screen should give an achievement. Yep. There it is. Super Buddies. So, I believe Booster Gold's little robot is called Skeet, and they're taking selfies. So yeah, there's their selfie. That's adorable. You know, I'm not a very big Booster Gold fan either. I know that he definitely has his advocates, but I don't dislike him. It's just not like a character that I ever went out of my way to read. I feel like they definitely captured kind of the essence of what he is with this character. He's definitely a little over the top. Definitely a showman. You definitely can tell that he's totally into being a superhero and a celebrity and a star. So they definitely did a good job with that. He can give himself the defensive bubble. He shoots energy out of his hands. He does also lock on to stuff. And he's got the laser. So he's a lot like any of the other lanterns. So I'll switch to him every once in a while just because I want something a little bit different. But, he's an okay character. I like his kind of like board animations. Those animations are definitely really cool. So next up we have Brainiac, who you will definitely find yourself using quite often. I wish he flew. I mean, he is an android, and he's supposed to be super smart, so I would hope that would have meant he would fly. If he flew, I would use him like almost extensively. Simply because he's got his gun. He also has his shrink ray, which he can. I mean, it's not going to shrink anything here, but oh, there you go. I stand corrected. He's going to shrink Booster Gold. So, yeah, I take that back. Yeah, a little shrink Booster Gold. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely very useful. There are going to be some statues and stuff like that throughout the different worlds that you're going to need to shrink. And I am pretty sure he's the only one that can do that. So let's go ahead and move right along to the next character. It is the Brainiac minion. He's one of the fodder characters. He shoots a gun. Obviously doesn't fly. And he doesn't do anything with the B or circle button on the controller. So he's just kind of a cool looking, guy that you can beat up and destroy. So he has a place in the game like most do. Bronze Tiger. So I don't know. Is he a Batman like enemy? I don't remember him coming up very often. I only really know him because he is Jai White plays him in Arrow, and did a fairly decent job. Obviously, he's not a tiger, but he is called Bronze Tiger, and he has those kind of blades right there. There was that scene from one of the episodes in season 1 where somebody had to like sneak the blades in through his skin into the prison. Crazy stuff. So he's a brawler. He does all the brawler things. And that's about it. And he looks like a tiger. So, not a very popular character, but he's in the game. So appreciate. Don't hate. Next up we have Bruce Wayne, who is Bruce Wayne. He brawls. He has detective vision. What more is there really else to say? It's Bruce Wayne. It definitely looks like Bruce Wayne. I mean, it's as Lego figures go. So, not really much to show there. Just, he's there, so there he is. Captain Cold. Definitely looking forward to what they're going to do with him on Arrow. They've already introduced him. He is the leader of the Rogues. So I'll be interested to see if they kind of do something like the Rogues. They've already hinted at Captain Boomerang in the last episode, where they were, giving Parasite some objects to blow up. Or not Parasite, Plastique. Some items to blow up. They had a boomerang, and what's her face said he didn't really think that one through. So I actually used Captain Cold quite a bit in my time playing, simply because he had the freeze ray, And I don't know why, but for some reason, for the longest, I completely forgot that Superman had freeze breath. It's such a noobish thing to admit, but yeah, man, I just found that Captain Cold was the easiest way to do it. You know, he's got his lasers, he's guaranteed, and I didn't have Mr. Freeze until pretty late in the game, so Captain Cold definitely got a little bit of run. We'll go ahead and move on from Mr. Snart. We have 3 different versions of Catwoman. There is, I think this is the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman. Very much looks like the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman, which is pretty much the best Catwoman. Then we have the 1966 Catwoman, who looks fabulous. You know, she's got her whip, she's got her agility, she's got detective vision. This version of Catwoman also has her whip. She has her detective vision. So they're pretty much the same character, just different skins essentially. And then we also have the new, pre-52 Catwoman. So I don't really know what that means, pre-52. I mean, we're at new 52 now, so I guess it's a lead up to 52. Pretty sure she just got her own book fairly recently. She has short hair now. Selena Kyle does anyway. So, pretty basic stuff though. Just a whip action, and she's got that detective vision. So, let's go ahead and move on to Cheetah in Robin disguise. It's basically Cheetah wearing Robin's outfit because they had this weird thing in the story where they, I don't know, you'll have to just play it to see it, or you can watch my video, but you know, they wasted a spot on this when they could have just made it kind of like an alternate to Cheetah herself. Cheshire, I suppose, is a lot like Bronze Tiger. I honestly do not follow this character, so I don't know much of anything about her. Yeah, but she's in the game. She looks of Asian descent because of what she's wearing. So I don't think she's actually Asian though. I don't know. She's a character. So moving on, we have Composite Superman, who is apparently a real character. Seems like somebody got bored and said, hey, what if I do this? But that may have still happened. You know, just considering the way that comics are made, it might have just been, hey, let's just take half of Superman, half of Batman, make it one thing. Sell millions. Well, I don't think he did, but alas, who am I to judge? So there we go, Composite Superman. He basically does everything that Superman can do. He's got the laser light show, you know, that can destroy anything that's pretty much anything. Just the only thing it can't destroy is it's like silver. So I felt the sneeze coming on. I apologize. So apparently Cheshire can dig up stuff. I'd imagine Bronze Tiger can too. So that's interesting. I wasn't aware of that. Moving on from Composite... Was it Composite Superman? Yeah. To Condiment King. Now, from my original video, you guys have told me this is a real character that really exists, and I think that's ridiculous. I really do feel like this is a wasted roster spot. I do feel like it does fit into the story so I can't hate on it nearly as much as I'd like to. But this is a stupid character. There's no two ways around it. It's a dumb character, and I really feel like the spot was wasted. He shoots ketchup and mustard, which, great, just what I always wanted. You know, there's so many characters in this game. I feel like everybody can probably pick like 2 or 3 that they'll say, hey, that's really stupid. You know, why'd you do that? Or whatever. Or why didn't you do this? But at the end of the day, you know, it's one character out of many. So we'll just not use him. This is Killer Croc's henchman. He thinks he's an alligator, but he's not. This is Cyborg Superman, who hates the real Superman. He is, I don't know, he's literally hell-bent on revenge of some sort. I don't know what he's gonna do, but, you know, he's definitely not Superman. He's definitely a robot. Anyway, he does all the stuff that Superman can do. So yeah, there he is. Cyborg Superman. Next up, we have Deadshot, who, let's be honest, nobody really knew who Deadshot was until he showed up as a character on Arrow. I mean, I certainly didn't know who he was, and I feel like I do a very solid job of keeping track of who's who. Anyway, Deadshot definitely came onto my radar through Batman Arkham City, and then even more recently as a bad guy in Arrow. They definitely don't nail the spirit of the character in Arrow, but you know, could be worse. I mean, it is TV after all. So, you know, next up after Cyborg Superman, is that where we were? Yeah, is Deathstroke, and even before Arrow, Deathstroke was probably my favorite DC Comics character. I was glad they didn't kill him off. Interested to see where they go with him. I think he's played by Manu Bennett in Arrow, and I think he did a really, really good job as Slade Wilson. So he's got his kind of fast-paced attack with his swords, and I think I just took like damage or something, and he kind of rolled off of it. So anyway, this is Deathstroke, and he's an awesome character, and I definitely wish I used him more. If he only flew, I would use him all the time. He has detective vision. Definitely be on the lookout for Deathstroke, the Terminator. Detective Chimp, yeah, this is another character I don't think anybody was beating down the door to try to request, you know? But he made it in there mostly because he's a raccoon. Or, I mean, not a raccoon, a chimp. Nobody's going to say no to that. So, moving on, we have Dex-Starr. This is the only animal in the game that I'm like, yo, good thing that animal is in the game. So Dex-Starr was a normal house cat, I believe in like the England area, and his whole family was like just murdered in front of him, and he couldn't do anything about it, and he was caught up by a Red Lantern. He thought it was a mistake, but no, it wasn't a mistake, and now he is one of the best Red Lanterns there is. That's all there is to it. I don't know what their hierarchy is, what their ranking system is, but he's with Atrocitus all the time. So I think by default he's kind of like the vice president of the team or something like that. So, but yeah, man, that's Dex-Starr. Moving on up, we have Dr. Fate. So, Dr. Fate, we see his helmet a little bit because of Robin. So Dr. Fate is, he's kind of like any lantern, I believe. He's got the energy kind of projection. You can lock onto stuff, but then it's just basically... It's not really a laser, per se. I don't think this would actually take down... anything as far as, like a gold statue. That stunk. Like a gold statue or anything like that. So yeah, that was Dr. Fate. Doomsday, big fig that a lot of people have been waiting for a long time. No, he did not sing, and that is his own fault. So yeah, that is Doomsday. He doesn't really do a whole heck of a lot. So that's Doomsday. He just looks really big and brooding and scary. I guess that's good enough. Etrigan, I think I'm saying his name right. Based on the pictures, you'd think he was a bad guy, but I think this is actually a good guy. Just your traditional big fig, and he cannot fly at the moment. So that is that. Next up, we have Firestorm, the Fury of the Firestorm. This is the Ronnie Raymond version, obviously, since he's white. I use Firestorm a lot, mostly because he has those concentrated kind of fire motions, and because he flies. So definitely very, very helpful to have a character that flies. Anyway, that is Firestorm. He's a really cool looking figure too. Etrigan, not so much. So here's Frankenstein. Frankenstein is actually way cooler than I thought he was going to be. I mean, he's basically a Grundy type, Solomon Grundy type. He's a big brawler that if he was in his smaller form could probably, you know, do a lot of the everyday things, but in his bigger form he is, you know, he's there. He has a sword, and he also has a 6-shooter kind of gun deal. I wish I could find something to fight so he could bust out his sword. And I think he does the same... Actually, no. I don't think he does the same thing as, like, SWAT Team... Swamp Thing. Or Grundy as far as, like, going through... the ground or anything like that. So next up we have the 2-pack. We have Jim Lee and we have Jeff Johns. So these two are obviously you know, kind of like super team if we were going to make a comic book with Jim Lee and Jeff Johns, you really should not go wrong. They're both fantastic at what they do, and I would read most of what they write for their name as much as the name of the book. So I think that's pretty much the highest form of compliment. So Giganta is probably the biggest character ever made in the game. So when she gets bigger, she gets way bigger to the point where she can pick characters up. Not that I think she does, but if she really wanted to, she could. I honestly don't even have to hit anything. I just run through it, and it like basically says, "Here, have it." But I guess that didn't last very long. So, she's a big figure, all right, and she, this is what she does. Not a whole heck of a lot. So yeah, there's Giganta. So every once in a while, you'll get a character that gets just completely stuck. And apparently Jim Lee can fly. Was not aware. So let's go ahead and switch to Poison Ivy. And if you want to get an achievement, you can have Poison Ivy. And then you can also have... yeah, I was looking for, I don't know, I was looking for Ivy and, Catwoman, I think, but it doesn't matter. So, moving on is her love interest in the game, Gorilla Grodd. They have a little bit of a lover's quarrel, if you will, that you have to intervene on one of the hub worlds. I think it was, on the actual watchtower. So definitely check that out. It's a pretty easy quest. But Gorilla Grodd is a gorilla. That's about all you would expect. That's not what I want to do. Next up, we have the Gray Ghost. And I will be completely honest, I do not know much about the Gray Ghost. But what I can tell you is that he has detective vision, and he just basically... That's really about it. The Gray Ghost. And he happens to sing, which is... really weird. Of all the characters in the menu, he's the one that sings. So Grayson looks like he's wearing an X-Force suit, which I don't believe he is, but he needs clarification on something. I don't know what it could be. I guess I'm not going to do that. I was going to like half-heartedly try it, but whatever. So Grayson is Dick Grayson. AKA Nightwing. He's branched off, so interested to see where that goes. Otherwise, he's just an acrobat that does all the same things that the acrobats do. Next up, we have Green Arrow, and Green Arrow was voice acted by Steve Amell, who does the Arrow on the WB. So that's pretty cool. He doesn't talk nearly enough. I don't know why that is, but it is the case. Yeah, already got that achievement, so whatever. He shoots arrows, so he is ranged. He does also have the detective vision, but obviously he can't fly. He doesn't shoot anything out of his hands because he's not that special. But he's still awesome. Arrow is a fantastic TV show. I cannot wait for the fourth DLC to be all dedicated to Arrow. Next up, we have Dick Grayson. Oh, no, we already did Grayson. We have the Green Lantern, who's actually Daffy Duck, if you haven't picked up on it yet. And, with this being a WB subsidiary, it makes sense for them anyway, to try to, get characters like this in for their bigger brand of the two. This is the Green Lantern. I'm very disappointed that, like, when you go into the menu, even when he's standing right there, he won't talk to you. Yeah. I figure if you're going to spend all that money on voice acting, why not make them able to converse with the people that you run into? The Green Lantern. So, WB has implemented themselves in our game. So, c'est la vie. Next up, we have Harley Quinn, who they absolutely nail, from the voice acting to the way her demeanor is to the way she acts when she's, when she's working, all that kind of stuff. She definitely does a good job. So, there's Harley Quinn. She's got a huge hammer. She's an acrobat. She uses that skill very frequently. So, that's Harley Quinn. Next up, we have Miss Martian. And she's a lot like Martian Manhunter, and that she does a lot of things kind of behind the scenes. So yeah, there she is flying around the scene. We're running low on time for episode 2, so we're going to probably have to save a bit of it for episode 3. Next up, we have Hawk Girl, and actually, might as well put out Hawkman as well. So there they are, Hawkman and Hawk Girl. Yeah, you'd think that they would give him a more graceful landing spot, but nope, he just plops himself right on the ground. So yeah, there is Hawkman now. I mean, they essentially do the same thing. He's got the mace attack for the melee. She's got the same contacts. You can add pretty much everything. Not necessarily saying that they have to be let out, but for a lot of people, anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. So, it is time to wrap up. We did make it all the way to Hawkman. We started at Beast Boy, so we are chugging along. Like I said, I want to keep these videos at about 45 minutes. And quite frankly, it's been a really long day, and I have some sleep to catch up on. So, I hope everybody enjoyed. We will pick up with Heatwave and Hush in the next episode, which should hopefully go live tomorrow night. And it's probably already live if you're watching this, like a week or a month after I post it. So for now, we are well into our all characters view of Lego Batman. So I hope you're enjoying it, and we will catch you later. See ya.